I'm Kanika and I'm a first-time mother and very excited to be talking about how my life is with an 8-month-old, and that's what the focus of this video is. Can't even believe I'm saying 8 months. It means that 2/3 of her first year is already gone, and it just feels like it happened. 8 months are done and you're going to be looking at 9 months and soon a year. So really feels nostalgic to be creating this video, and I think it starts from the fact that we used to put her in cloth nappies all the time, and she's outgrown that and we now have to put her in shorts. So many things have changed that make it feel like she's growing up so fast. So I've nicknamed my daughter Ducky, and purely for the fact that during the pregnancy there was so much of nausea that this nickname just stuck on. So Ducky loves to play, very very playful, loves to have people around her, and will play with any toy, will play with no toy, will play with people, any combination of things. But basically when she's awake, she's at 100% all the time, and as soon as she's sleepy, she'll go back to 100% sleepy. There's no in between for her. She's either always hungry or always sleepy or always playful. So it's great fun to constantly be on my toes to look at what are her needs. There are no subtle signs. We will go to the major signs immediately. You need to fulfill those needs so that she doesn't become very cranky or not be able to deal with the situation. So that's how most of the days are, that it's just running from one thing to another to another. I did think that I would take 6 months off work completely and just focus on her, and I find that I'm in the 8th month and still very happily doing that. In fact, the little bit of volunteering work that I was doing, I cut it down and I said I just want to totally focus on her, and that's what I'm doing. So maybe a whole year will pass before I take on any work, and it's just such a blast. Didn't realize how fulfilling life is, just being there with her, being there with my family, seeing all the interactions happening. Such fun. Okay, so we use a couple of different things with Ducky. We use nappies, we use cloth diapers, we use reusable diapers, we use shorts, and it's just a lot of washing. It's a lot of changing, but the fun part of it is that she will indicate that she has wet herself, and her indication now is that now that she's mobile, she'll come towards me or the nanny, and she'll sort of like say, I don't want to sit in that spot because I have peed and that spot is wet. Now that's when it is cloudy or rainy. When it is hot, then she totally doesn't mind peeing. Then she's really happy, because for her she's like, hey, this is cool, this is nice, and she'll sit in her puddle for a little longer. So indications keep changing. You'll suddenly find a huge smile on her face and we realized, oh, she has peed and she's enjoying the coolness of that. So that's when we would change her. So yes, a good part of my day involves washing, hanging out her clothes, making sure it's drying time for the next day. But another aspect of motherhood, and I don't seem to mind it as much as I thought I would have. We've also managed potty training her for poo. Started about 4 months back, and great fun that she picked it up really quickly. I had a song that I associated with her sitting on her little potty, and that was associated only for pooing, and she understood it very quickly. We just had to look at when is she wanting to poo. She'd make faces like this, or go dar dar dar, and then we just put her on the pot, sing this song, and she would do her job, just clean her up. So very easy, and she's developed this routine wherein first thing in the morning, as soon as she opens her eyes, she needs to go sit on the potty and finish her job off, and maybe 2-3 times during the day, depending on how much she's eating, and that's how much she will poo. And that is where the next thing of the day turns in: food. Now that she's having solid food, we're planning meals for her. It's not just about feeding her my milk or trying out formula milk, but it's about giving her vegetables and dal and rice. And we've recently started trying dosa and idli, and such fun. We try and make her sit on her high chair, which by the way was my high chair, and it's 34 years old now. It's been used by all the children in our family. So she uses that. And since we shuttle between my parents' house and my in-laws' house, she has a high chair in either place, and that's what we use. she has in the last 2 weeks decided, why high chair? I can sit on the floor, or I can sit on Amma's lap and eat. And that's what she does. She sits on the floor. We'll give her pieces of vegetable or fruit, nice, either soft or boiled, and she will pick it up to try and eat it. And sometimes she will say, hey, I can eat it, I can squish it, I can smear it on the floor. And she'll take it and do this and then do it, and all over her, and then she'll want to be lifted up by me. Of course I've got to lift her up, so I'll have food all over me. Just part of the day that we'll both be covered by food. We clean her up very quickly, and I just sort of just wash off all of this a little bit, and at the end of the day sit and scrub my clothes. So I think planning meals for her, I am loving that. I'm someone who loves to cook. So, to already have the chance to say, okay, what combinations can I give Ducky? Totally, I love it. I love, just at the beginning of the day to say, okay, this is what we're going to give her. 3 solid meals, 2 to 3 snacks, and all the various feeds that I give her in between. Didn't expect it to happen so fast, and didn't expect her to love it so much. So a huge boon. Ducky is teething. She's got 2 below and 2 on top that are ready to come out. And so that means she's cranky, she's clingy, she sometimes doesn't want to eat, she sometimes has diarrhea, sometimes, throws up. She's going through that cycle. Can't wait for it to get over. I'm hating this phase. But, hopefully soon. It's really troubling her a lot. But of course, it's part of the natural process. And because of her teething, her gums have grown harder and she's able to eat that much more variety. So, pros and cons of this phase. She loves to be outside, go on her little scooter, go meeting people. First thing in the morning, we'll, go out of the house, go to the terrace garden, say hello to everyone, say good morning, enjoy the fresh air. If it is cold, then just wrap up in all the layers and go out. But it's like I said, a very social baby who loves to do all of this. We go to the park in the evening, and she'll just want to sit there and watch all the children playing. And now that she's in that giggling phase, anything, you just have to look at her and she'll go into peals of laughter. There's no particular reason. She'll just take off into it. It just brings a lot of joy to all of us to just hear this giggle take off. We'll try and do that action again for a repeat performance. No giggle. That's just the way she is. There's something that'll tick her off and she'll take off and giggle. And of course, the same way, there's something that can tick her off and she can take off and cry. And coming from a family with loud voices, she's gotten that gene too. And we can hear her cry and giggle all the way through the neighborhood. As per her name, Ducky loves water. We've taken her to the pool a few times, and the first time was a little like she was didn't know what to do with all of this water around her. She was a little shocked. But the second time she was like, hey, I know this, and she went pat, 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 pat. And since then, every time we give her a bath, she'll sit in the water doing that. Loves it. Between my brother and my brother-in-law, we have babies who are, we have 3 babies below the age of 3 years, and she has great fun playing with all of them. There is a baby girl 5 weeks younger than her, and she will look at her, try and play with her, and whatever she's doing, she will try and imitate. And whatever the older boy, who is now 2 3/4 years, she'll also try and imitate him. So, lots of children time during a pandemic when a lot of children don't have access to other children. So, a great boon for living in a joint family. Stairs are a very big part of my life. We live on the 3rd floor in my in-laws' house and on the 1st floor in my parents' house. So, up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't mind because it means that I'm now losing weight and chasing Ducky. It's naturally happening, all the exercising. So that's great. She also makes sure that my sleep deprivation continues. That she moves a lot in the night, and I'm a light sleeper. So every time she moves, I'll have just woken up a little to see what she's up to, and then I go back to sleep. But whatever it is, it's been a year of sleep deprivation from the 5th month of the pregnancy till now. And my body has just learned to manage to function with all of that. So I would say that, at the end of the whole day, she sleeps off by about 6, 7 p.m. and I finish off the rest of the work, and by 9:30, 10 I'm looking at being into bed, and I'd say, oh, let's sleep. And then she wakes up for a feed. Nap is what I would love to do, but that's not what she has in mind. So in the night she'll have anywhere from 2 to 5 feeds, and so the sleep deprivation cycle continues, and sometimes there is nowhere where one day ends and the next day starts. It just all feels like one roll that's going on. And that's what life with my 8-month-old looks like.